Hey everybody, how are y'all doing? So, we're still in Mercury retrograde. Venus retrograde ended though, so that's a good thing. We can get haircuts again without fear. Our love lives are a little more clear. Things are going better. We have Jupiter going into retrograde now too, so we're still going through it. And that's a little bit what I want to talk about today before I do the channeling is there's a lot of old core fear that's coming up for a lot of us. I've been talking to a few people, and then my husband and I were just talking about dreams that we had last night. Sorry, there's a cat being a maniac next to me. Anyway, but yeah, I was trying to figure out this dream that I had, and I was talking to my husband about a dream that he had, and I'm just going to share it with you guys to kind of illustrate the sort of things that are coming up. So I had, I had a dream where I was at camp, and I went to camp a lot in the summers as a kid. It was always some sort of church camp or religious camp, but I loved it because I could get away from my weird family. I could play in the woods. I could swim in the mountain lakes, my favorite thing. So I was all about camp. So in the dream, I was showing my husband Alex this little campground that I used to go to, and I was like, check it out. Here's these trees. Here's the swings. And then we went into these hot springs, which the camp definitely didn't have. And my swimsuit was like falling apart. My shorts were too short. My butt was hanging out. My boobs were coming out. And I was like, all right. I need to change. So I go back to our room, our cabin, and there are all these people there, all these men, and they're all watching. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not ashamed of my body. I'll go ahead and switch into this new swimsuit right here and now. But every time I try to like take off my top, I notice them looking at me with this kind of like, in this way, like this is not going to go well for me. And I'm trying not to be afraid. I'm trying not to be shy. But every time I try to take off the swimsuit top, there's a t-shirt underneath. And I keep trying to take off the t-shirt, and there's another t-shirt. Keep trying to take off the swim top. There's a t-shirt, and I'm getting so frustrated and so uncomfortable. So anyway, I'm telling Alex about this, and it suddenly dawns on me. Camp, when I was 9 years old, I was just thinking about this the other day. I was in a little one-piece French cut bathing suit because it was the 90s and everything was French cut. That's just how it came. Just minding my business, just being a 9-year-old child. And the women in the camp told me to put a t-shirt on over my swimsuit. I couldn't just go swim in the mountain lake minding my business like all the other kids because I had little curves. I was developing early. And so they were like, the men are going to be a problem. You have to put a t-shirt on. And that was the first time that I really felt like my body made me unsafe. Like there was something wrong with me. And I was like attracting predators just because I was a girl. I was a woman. And like I'd blocked a lot of it out. I didn't realize at the time that I was being I was being assaulted all the time by my own father and my mother. I dissociated a lot. Later, I survived other rapes. But yeah, that fear lives inside of me still. That fear that I can't just live in my own body without danger being attracted to me. So that's a very humbling thing to realize that core fear is still in there. It's still in there. And I've been trying a lot lately to let myself be free, let myself be as naked as I want, really feel comfortable in my own skin, because that's what I want on a deep, deep level. But yeah, that fear is still in there in the back of my mind. And Spirit today was just really driving home you need to let go. You need to let go of the fear, because it was sort of true back in the day, that those Christian men would have a problem with my 9-year-old body, because that's kind of the old earth that we've all been living in for a long time. Being on this earth has been traumatic. That's kind of the whole point of it. But we're changing now. We're going into a new dichotomy. We're dreaming a new dream together. And they were letting me know that if I want to let go of the old and come into the new, I have to stop being afraid. Because that fear is grounding me into that old way of being. I have to let go to dream a new dream. Because what we think about all the time is what we attract. Right? So if I'm constantly have this low level terror of that, that's what my world is going to be like. That's how it works. And that's not a victim blaming thing. That's just what we dwell on is what we find, what we see, what our vibration is. I'm living in this level of fear. I'm going to attract other people who are living in that same level of fear. So I want to see what the world is like when I'm not afraid. I want to see what it's like when I know that I can be myself in my body and everyone else can too. And we're just going to be loved and respected. That people will notice my beauty, but not threaten me. You know what I mean? Like I can just be beautiful out loud without it being a problem. That's the world I want to live in. Isn't it the world you want to live in? So what's your fear that's coming up? Do you have a core fear that's coming up? What do you need to let go of to start living in a better version of the world, to start living in the new earth? That's just what I wanted to bring up, a little food for thought today. And then this channeling that's going to come through from the bigger version of me, the bigger goddess, is going to be about loosening that fear and letting it go. So if you're ready to let go of some of that old fear, accept this channeling. Let's do it together. Okay? You ready? Here's some vulture feathers to clear you off. Very cleansing and transformational. All right, y'all. I'm going to connect you up to the bigger version of the goddess through our eyes. Ready? What I want, you want. What you want, I want. What I want, you want. What you want, I want. What I want, you want. What I want, you want. You want, I want. I want, you want. You want, I want. All right, here we go. Asane asane. Yeah, she get asana. Yeah, she get Saneshe Ishakena rasa Ya Shikena rasa Ya Shikena rasa Ya Shikene rasa Nekine Shikena ra Ya Shikena rasa 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 ne Shiketa Sane shikita sane she shikina sane I she sane kanara se ya she yeah shikina sane shine Sane sheke ne shike narasa ya shene ya shike ya sa shike narasa ya wa yeah, shene rasa rasa That felt like a big relief to me, a big release for all of us. Chopping through stuff, and then realizing it's okay. It's okay. It's all okay. It's gonna be okay. It is okay right now. Our world lives inside of us. We are the center of our universe. We create it with every thought, with every breath, with every heartbeat. What are you thinking? What are you breathing? What's living under the surface? It's time to let go of. How do we let in peace? Make room for peace in our universe. Bless you guys. Thank you for being here with me and sharing this with me. I love you. Oh, you know what? If you appreciated this video, please vote for me for to be the next face of horror. I'm in this competition for the next couple of months now. Vote daily if you can. If you just want to support me, help me win. Sorry, I'm excited. All right, I'll leave the link below. But thank you guys. I love you. Have a great day. Blessed be.